Hi, I'm Lynn, and welcome to my very first episode of my very brand new channel called Refi. And it's not like refinancing a home or anything like that. It's actually a play on the words from the movement, the FIRE movement, which is financial independence, retire early. Well, mine is retire early, financial independence. And it's not because it's a better way to do it or anything like that. Quite the contrary. It's because I did it wrong. I retired early. I retired at 56. And then I searched or put in motion my financial independence. And a lot of things happened to make me do it that way because initially that wasn't the way I was supposed to have done it, but that's the way things ended up being. And so basically what this channel is about is because I know that I couldn't be the only person out here that did it the wrong way. And I guess if, I hate to say something is the wrong way because, based on who decided what's right and what's wrong. But what I can say is that there's ways to do things to make sure that you are in a financial position. And I didn't find myself in a good financial position. So I know the way that I did it wasn't correct. So basically what I'd like to do is just share my story with you all, and also to show you and talk to you about the steps that I took. And if it can help just one person, I don't expect a lot of subscribers. That's not what my purpose is. If there's one person, one you, and if what I say can benefit you in your walk or in your decision to try and turn this around from the refi to the fire, or to try to make it work after we've already dove into the fire. I'm just looking to share my story and share my journey. I'll come on here every week just for you. I know for me, for 6 years, almost 6 years, about 5.5 now, I retired December of 2017. And shortly after that, I ran into a brick wall. And basically it was something that, was not my fault, so to speak, in that I got a very horrible, terrible diagnosis. And my treatments and everything made it where I couldn't, do my side hustle that I had planned to do after retirement to subsidize the retirement money that I had. I had a private retirement. I had a 401k. And and that's another story for another time. But the way I used that, it wasn't wise at all as well. A lot of things that I did wrong. And if you're one of those who you may have made some mistakes or you did it right, and then something happened, and we know if things can go wrong, sometimes they will go wrong. And the only way that we can prevent things, not so much from going wrong, but how we react to that, is by being prepared. And so I just found myself in a position that I wasn't prepared. Things came knocking on my door, and it really caught me off guard. So let's fast forward it, and it's about almost 6 years now. And I would say I'm not totally out of the woods. I'm still in a lot of debt. I still have credit card debt. I still have a mortgage. I still have car loans and everything else. But I'm not $350,000 in debt like I was, 5.5 years ago. So now I'm somewhere about the 198,000 is where I am now. And that's even with years of me not even being able to do anything but sit on my couch after treatment because I was so exhausted and so sick. So I want to share that this channel is basically going to be, just sharing with you and giving you some ideas. I'm not here to try to tell you what to do. I'm here to say that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And I know that's a cliche, and I don't really like doing cliches because they're corny. The light at the end of the tunnel is not necessarily going to be the light of a train. If you work on it slowly and you do it intentionally, you can dig yourself out with whatever you have. And I'll tell you more about what I went through, the finances that I was dealing with, what I had to work with, and all of that. And so, and I'm still retired. I'm disabled. I can't work. And sometimes I have better days than others. But I found that there are certain things that I can do that's passive. I've done that to help me to be able to pull myself out of some of the holes that I found myself in. So if you find that this channel is interesting, if you find that you're one of those who actually did the retire early and then sought financial independence, and then, come with me as I do my weekly journaling and showing you where I am and where I'm going and some of the things that I'm doing to pull myself out and to be able to pay the other $198,000 off and still be able to enjoy life and be able to do some of the things that I want to do. I will say this, I don't pay all my debt and don't do anything for myself. That's not what I do. You have to have some things that are non-negotiables. Now, I'll give 95% of my money to creditors, but the other 5% I'm gonna give or I'm gonna do something with. And most times it's not for myself. Most times it's giving to other people. And that's what I like to do. And so again, that's a non-negotiable for me. If I have to not do something for someone, if they need something, or anything like that, then that's just not a part of my budget. That won't work for me. So you have to find out what your non-negotiable is. And then once you find out that non-negotiable, then you do those other things that can, basically subsidize that. So if I know that I have bills to pay, I'm not going to not pay my bills to do something for someone. I may not put extra money on that bill, or I may have to go in my closet and pull out something that I liked and I'll sell it so that I can have that money to help someone else. But I still give and I still do because that's part of who I am and that's what makes me who I am. So anyway, so thank you so much for spending this time. And again, this video here is not gimmicky and it's not going to have a whole lot of, graphics and all that other kind of stuff because that's not what this is about. This is serious. And if you're in the situation that I'm in and that I found myself in, then you're not looking for gimmicky stuff anyway. You're looking for someone to be transparent and be truthful. And that's what I am. And I'm not embarrassed to say that I've made a lot of mistakes. I'm not embarrassed to say that some of the situations I found myself in, I shouldn't have been in. I shouldn't have been in a lot of financial situations and problems, but I did. And I'm still in, and I still have, my vices. I still spend too much. I still have to work on that. I still constantly have to work on that, so it's almost like an addiction and I'll call it that. And so, and it's not that I go out and buy. I go out and give. And sometimes to the point that I, have to ask myself, do I have an addiction to giving? And so, but anyway, that's what this is all about. It's called Refi, and we're the ones that did it backwards. But we can also pull ourselves out of that. And I've started doing that. I can see daylight, and you can too. Hi, Refi family. As I was getting ready to upload the video, I just had one thought that came into my mind, and I wanted to ask you guys for your help. And that is, if you can leave it in the comments. If someone were to ask you if there's one solitary thing that you could have that you thought would really change the trajectory of your situation, what would that be? How could someone help you? Now, I know $1 million would help all of us, but it's going back to the old adage that if you give a person a fish, they can eat for a day. But if you teach them how to fish, they can eat for a lifetime. And so that's the whole thing there. We can be helped in different ways, in different manners. And what may help me may not necessarily help you. So if you can tell me just something that you feel that, hey, if I just had this, it could really help me, maybe not solve all the problems, but help you look at your situation differently. Okay, I'll see you again next week.